Episode 544. Yishu logged into the game soon after. He'd slept last night, so he hadn't run today's dungeon yet. Su Mucheng's Windcomb smoke bath was in the same boat. The same was true for Tang Ru. However, Qinsheng and Ma Hupao were both offline at the moment. Their group of less than 100 players still held the lead in terms of level. There are no pickup groups in the Dark Forest. If you want to form a 5-man team, you have to rely on players from other guilds. But with it being the Lunar New Year, an absolutely unique time of year, the arrangements each major guild made were entirely up to them. Yishu took a look. A few of the 10th server's guild leaders were online. He sent messages to each of them, one by one. The responses were all the same. Either they had no dungeon attempts left, or their party was already full. But this wasn't enough to stump Yishu. No people? Then they'd just run it with 3. With his skill level, he was absolutely confident he could clear any 5-player dungeon with just a 3-man team. The efficiency, however, left something to be desired. It was a special time, and there were no conditions to be picky. But this was Chen Guo's first time tackling such a technically demanding task, and she was playing Su Mucheng's character. If she accidentally got Su Mucheng killed, she'd feel absolutely terrible about it. Chen Guo, her mind a knot of tension, forced herself into the dungeon. Her movements were visibly rigid, her thoughts lagging half a beat behind, leading to one mistake after another. It was only thanks to Yishu's constant bailouts that she managed to keep going. Fortunately, Chen Guo was sitting right next to Yishu. With his constant guidance, she gradually returned to normal. Then, after a moment, she realized it wasn't actually all that scary. As a veteran player herself, Chen Guo quickly realized it wasn't scary at all. That's because Yishu had shouldered the vast majority of the difficulty. And Tang Ru took on a good chunk of the rest, so by the time it reached Chen Guo, there was hardly any danger left. But with just the 3 of them running the dungeon, progress was inevitably slow. By the time they finished their 3rd run, it was already close to noon. The Spring Festival event was set to start at noon sharp, so Tang Ru had already rushed off to grab a bite to eat. Yishu and Chen Guo also ordered takeout from a nearby place.
Hey, what are we eating tonight?
As he ate the delivered takeout, Yishu asked Chen Guo. After all, it's New Year's Eve. Having fast food for the reunion dinner tonight would just be too depressing.
Don't worry, I've already got it sorted. We're going out to eat. I made a reservation.
Is that okay? I meant in case there are any Glory fans around. Someone like you, for instance.
Chen Guo shot Yeyu a sharp look before she spoke.
We've got a private room booked, so we shouldn't be disturbed.
Yeah, you handled that well.
Yishu gave Chen Guo his approval. Chen Guo rolled her eyes but said nothing. Yishu, of course, wouldn't be exposed. His main concern was Su Mucheng. When it came to Su Mucheng, how could Chen Guo not be concerned? Of course, every detail had been considered.
The event's about to start. What's your take on it?
From what's been announced, I don't see any shortcuts to exploit. Everyone just has to follow the rules and rely on their own luck and skill.
So, there's no way a repeat of that Christmas event chaos you guys caused is going to happen again.
No way.
So, what level do you think you'll hit after this event?
What, you think I'm some kind of prophet? You'll only figure out the specifics after you've been on the job for a while. I'm just looking at the task flow right now. How would I know all that?
So, once you hit level 50, you'll be starting the challenge for the Heavenly Domain, right?
Absolutely. Otherwise, there's no way to level up.
Is it difficult?
No, it's just time-consuming.
When Yishu first declared he would complete the Heavenly Domain challenge at level 50, Chen Guo had thought he was insane. But now, hearing Yishu's casual reply, she accepted it with perfect composure. Given the skill level of a top-tier god like him, Chen Guo didn't think that statement was an exaggeration. The Heavenly Domain's challenge tasks are split into 2 main parts. The first involves the arena, requiring players to achieve a certain number of victories. And there's another catch to these wins. Your opponent's level can't be any lower than your own. This was a bit awkward for Yishu at the moment, because his level was too high. He was in the top tier of the 10th server. By the time he reached level 50, there wouldn't be many players at the same level, and there likely wouldn't be any at a higher level either. And these people were undoubtedly elite experts from major guilds, the vast majority of them veteran players who already had accounts in the heavenly domain. For their new server accounts, their first priority was to level up quickly and snag those dungeon records. The arena is a pretty time-consuming pastime. Guys like them probably wouldn't bother with it. This left Yishu in a rather awkward position. There's no doubt he could rack up that many wins, but the problem is, with no opponents willing to hand him points, what could Yishu do? Go farm the same guy over and over? Sorry, but the glory system already thought of that. After you defeat the same opponent 10 times, any further victories won't count toward the task statistics. The developers had always promoted the heavenly domain as a brand new world, so they went to great lengths to design its challenge tasks to avoid any kind of shortcut or loophole. The only way for players to cheat the system, aside from pure hard-earned skill, was to have someone else complete the task for them, like Chen Guo did. The game developers really had no way to solve this gun-for-hire problem. Then there's the heavenly domain, with its own set of quests and progression paths. These tasks are designed to test a player's pure technical skill. Even the ones that require specific item drops demand you meet the exact conditions set by the quest. For instance, hitting a certain number of combo segments 10 or 8 times, these were all ironclad, non-negotiable requirements. There was no chance of someone just lucking out and getting the required item. For something like this, which tested technical skill, Yishu naturally wouldn't have any problem. Yishu's problem, however, was with killing monsters. Since the heavenly domain's quest difficulty always scales with the maximum level cap, Yishu's Lord Grim was only level 50. Facing level 70 quest opponents meant the level suppression would create some truly exaggerated gaps. As a result, every single battle Yishu faced would in fact be a grueling ordeal. Demands for 8 or 10 hit combos weren't even a consideration for Yishu. The sheer length of the battle required to defeat this target meant he'd have all the time in the world to string them together. What he really needed to consider was his own combat endurance. This wasn't just about the character's consumption of health and mana. It also included Yishu himself, as he needed to maintain flawless focus throughout these prolonged, high-stakes battles. Even if Yishu could overcome all that and pull it off, it wouldn't change the fact that the battle would be a long, drawn-out affair. That's why Yishu said this was a time-consuming task for him.
I just hope things go smoothly when the time comes.
The mere thought of it sent a chill down Chen Guo's spine. Meanwhile, Yishu just stood there, looking thoughtful.